So I'm just extremely exhilarated today. I'm just exhilarated with energy of every kind. It's just filling me so full of ecstasy and excitement and thrill that I just hardly can even sit still here because of the way the beauty of nature and everything that is outside. All the birds that are singing so wonderfully, and all the beautiful flowers and trees. I just so enjoyed doing that when I first got up this morning, getting out and running and enjoying all of that. And I'd like to just spend the whole day out there sometime and just enjoy all of that. We need to just get out and just plant trees and plant flowers and just enjoy the outdoors and just breathe in all of that beautiful, wonderful air and just visualize as you breathe it in that all of the love, the omnipotent, the omnipresent love, joy, and peace of the infinite mind, your source, is just flowing into you, just washing over you, and just exhilarating every cell and every cell of your body, just sparkling up, saying, "Oh, I'm enjoying this, all of this wonderful oxygen. I'm enjoying all of this wonderful energy you're sending me. I'm enjoying all these wonderful thoughts." We pull our cells down of our body and all of our organs down. We pull all of everything down about all of our sad thoughts, erroneous thoughts, all of our negative thoughts, our thoughts that are not in proper alignment with Source, and not in proper alignment with the real, true thing that Infinite Mind would tell us, not in line with joy, not in line with peace, and not in line with love. We pull all of our cells down, and they just choke down. They say, "I'm just choking down from all of these negative, fearful thoughts that you're thinking." It's just abominable, the thoughts that what you're doing to your body by all of these fearful, dreadful, thinking dark thoughts about the future, and gloomy, despairing, despondency, depressive thoughts that just pulls you down and ruins your health, and your cells just say, "Oh, I'm choking for some good fresh air." If this individual would just get out and run and begin to get his blood going, circulating, going, his or her blood circulating, going, and begin to let that fresh air come in, and then begin to visualize how immortal they are, and how much Source is really pouring out upon them, which they're refusing to see, and how much love, joy, and peace is going to begin to come into them, and then their cells will just come alive and say, "Oh, I'm enjoying all these beautiful thoughts that you're giving me. I'm just enjoying all of these beautiful thoughts that you're receiving from Infinite Mind, and that you're now getting into alignment with it, and you're now getting into the vortex." Like this wonderful book here says, "Oh, you want to get your cells to sparkling, and get to really breathe in that wonderful oxygen like they should. Get into the vortex, or get this book by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and just really get into it, and go over those guided meditations. It's got a CD in there and everything that you can get, and that comes with it, and you can just play that over, and that'll get you into those thoughts, and it gets you into the mood, and then your cells will just be happy then, and they'll begin to come together there where they're supposed to. They'll begin to turn back all of the ravages of the times past, and the thoughts you've had in the past. Begin to turn back diseases and illnesses, and begin to turn back aging of every kind, and just begin to slow it down more and more. And as we get more and more in alignment, we can eventually, as we continue to evolve in consciousness, we'll overcome the aging process. But now we can begin to gradually turn it back some, but just by getting into the vortex and begin to get our thoughts on that in alignment with what the real reality is. The real reality is not illness, sickness, despondency, despair. Oh, I feel bad, I have pain. All this is not the real reality. Real reality is overabundant joy, joy unspeakable, full of glory, great joy. That's what we were intended. We were born into this world to have great joy. We were born into this world to have great happiness. We were born to have health. We were born to have abundance of every kind, and all of that has been turned back by our false, erroneous thoughts. We need to turn that around and get ourselves into a meditative. Get yourself into a meditative position and place where you can just really relax and just say, "Oh, this is just a quiet," and just say, "Oh, it's just take a deep breath. This is just a quiet, marvelous, quiet atmosphere. There's no distractions at all. And so I'm going to just refuse to think all those despondent thoughts. I'm going to refuse to think of anything that would depress me, anything that would make me feel bad. At least maybe I have to go back to my life in 20 minutes, but before this 20 minutes, I'm not going to think about anything I have to do or anything needs to be done or what I'm going to do the rest of the day or anything, but I'm just going to think about love, joy, peace, immortality, health, of all abundant health, and I'm just going to let that wash over me, and then you'll begin to bring yourself into the place where you need to be, and you'll start getting into that vortex. And use these guided meditations until you get to where you can write your own meditations and write your own affirmations. And then as you get where you can write your own affirmations every day, write you some new affirmations about, I know the future holds only abundance for me. I know the future holds only health for me. I know I'm going to overcome all illnesses. I know I'm going to overcome all pains. I know the future is a pain-free, disease-free, illness-free future, full of all abundance, full of my dream home, and full of my dream automobiles, and full of every dream vacations and whatever it is I want. That's all it is full of. And just let that all go through your mind until your cells begin to sparkle, and they'll just enjoy all that, and they'll begin to open up, and they'll begin to have life, and the life will begin to just stir. They'll begin to stir around in there and begin to do their job the way they're supposed to, and it'll begin to cause your brain to begin to function better. It'll begin to work faster, 10 times, 100 times faster, and you'll begin to be able to, when you come out of those after you practice those meditations for a while, you'll be able to accomplish 10 times what you ever did before, and with less effort than you just accomplished one thing. One thing was always, I got to put all this effort into doing this. It's got to be done. I don't really want to do it, but it's got to be done. I got to put in all this effort. I just dread it so much, and you spend all that energy and all that, Whereas and when you get through with all these meditations and get into the real vortex like you should be, well, all of that'll just flow right through, and you'll get that thing will just be accomplished just like that, and you'll go to the next one and the next one and the next one, and you'll never feel any sense of dread or sense of fear, because you'll start realizing how powerful you are, and that you are a powerful creator, and that you're a person capable of all exhilaration and energy, and you'll just realize how much energy is actually available to you, and you'll begin to let that energy flow, and as that energy begins to just take over your body and your mind, and that energy begins to just flow in Niagara, then everything just becomes easy. You can just accomplish everything you need to do just easily. Just like you with one hand tied behind you, and using only half your brain, like Rush Limbaugh always said. And I no doubt he has gotten into the vortex at some point, so that he's able to do that. And we can do that all that too, and much more than that, whole lot more than that. The energy is all available. The power is all available. The love and the joy is all available. It's only our thoughts that stop it. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where as a man thinketh, so is he. Pure in heart shall see good, which means all goodness and all abundance and all happiness and all joy. The pure in heart, the heart that refuses to think thoughts of despondency. That's the pure in the heart. I say, I'm going to be pure. My pure thoughts is going to be only of abundance, and only of happiness, and only of joy, and only of my dream home and everything that I want like that, and only of the abundant, wonderful future that is coming, and how marvelous it's going to be. And it's going to be I'm going to completely purify out. I'm going to strain out. I'm going to filter out, use a divine filter, filter out all thoughts of despondency and fear and negativity, and think only and then just until I've completely purified my mind of all of that. And then the pure in the heart shall see God, which means they'll see infinite good, and they'll see infinite prosperity, and they'll see infinite love and joy and peace, because they've strained all that other stuff that's interfering with it out. And so, I'm just so exhilarated and ecstatic, and I want to see if I can just continue this feeling this morning. And I'm gonna make sure my whole day just continues along this line. and I'm going to put on this wonderful program called the Tanya Love Show, and just see, if she always manages to raise my consciousness a little, and give me a little bit more energy, and make me a little bit more ecstatic, and I'm just going to see, as exciting as I feel this morning, I just wonder if she'll continue to be able to raise that frequency. I'm sure she will. She always has. I always, every day I say, oh, I've got myself already in a wonderful mood. I don't have to even turn on Tanya Love, although I'm going to do it anyway because I just like to see her on there talking, but I always say I'm so full of all of this energy and ecstasy that there's nothing anybody could say on any of the YouTube channels that would make it any better. But then I turn on Tanya Love, and she always manages to raise the frequency just a little bit more. She does it every time. Somehow or another, the infinite mind, the source, or something seems to enable me to just pick the right program that I need for that particular day to just continue that frequency going on up. So I'm going to see what she has this morning. She's talking about surrendering the ego. I got a little bit of that started there yesterday, and got it up to about 10 minutes of it, and I'm going to take off right 10 minutes into it, and start getting get the rest of the show. This is called, what she's doing this morning is surrendering the ego, and she's good when she gets on that subject of the ego, and that's one of the things we need to do is, we need to think about letting go of anything besides these wonderful thoughts of infinite mind, and let go of everything besides immortality, our thoughts of immortality, and that's letting go of the ego, because that ego is that old negativity, that old fearful self that has been trained in us. That's that old subconscious mind that's had the wrong thoughts fed into it. We let go of that so that we can make room for these wonderful thoughts that the infinite mind is ready to give us, and that way we can begin to be filled with energy. So I'm just excited about that program. We're going to get her going, and then I'm going to just check out what marvelous coffee I have. I have so many good flavors. I have Cafe Supreme, which I'll have sometime there today. There's a nice malted, smooth flavored coffee. All comes from organic gold, and all filled with that Ganoderma lucidium. Just such a wonderful herb. That they use. They started over in the east, where they learned that it would give them all kinds of health producing qualities, and would cause them to have a sense of well-being and all, and they began to think about how wonderful that is, and so they decided that they could put it, that people everybody needed to have some of that, so they'd figure out a way everybody could get that, and have that wonderful feeling. And so they said, well, we'll infuse it into coffee, because after all, how many people drink coffee across the world? Billions of them do. Nearly everybody, and it's just something that goes that if you get something infused into that, it'll reach everybody. And so they decided to infuse that, and they've got that total Ganoderma lucidium totally infused into the coffee, so that every drop of that you drink of it gives you that Ganoderma lucidium. It's totally devoid of all caffeine, so you don't get jitters and palpitations and all those kinds of things, but you just get a wonderful, marvelous feeling. You can drink as much of it as you want to, and it just continues to have the same just steady, wonderful feeling, and no after effects, and no effects of withdrawal if you decide to drink something else a while. And so I've got this, to say, that Cafe Supreme, and then I've got this Columbia roast that comes in the little K-cups. It goes in the little brew cup maker. I've got Cafe Mocha Chocolate. See, anything to suit your taste, so that you'll always get your Ganoderma lucidium and always feel good. Cafe Mocha, that's just a wonderful. It has just the right amount of chocolate, bring you up to after coffee flavor. It has a black coffee, for just plain, so that it comes in the nice little packages that are small enough, so they don't have anything else, any latte or anything in them, so they're just really, really small, and they just fit right in your shirt pocket, and you can just carry them, keep them with you all the time. That's marvelous to keep that with you, and then at the special times you can have this latte and this chocolate and whatever according to your mood at special times. And usually start every morning off with nice Columbia roast, because that's just a nice brewed flavor that's good for starting off the mornings with. I have a little nice little one of these little portable. I didn't know they even made such a thing until I got to looking through all the different coffee makers, and it's just a nice little portable thing that you can keep with you all the time, and the little brew cup just fits right down into there, and and it just has a marvelous flavor to it, and it just is trapped and sealed into there until you get ready to use it, and that's what's so wonderful about it. And so we'll go to the next video now.